Welcome again to Joe Stunner Boxing. I hope you've had a good day. Queensbury have signed up another heavyweight. Are there going to be any left that aren't Queensbury, well, promoted by Queensbury? I don't know, but Tony Yoka's signed to Queensbury, and Tony Yoka, former Olympic gold medalist who outpointed JOYCE in the final. In my opinion, JOYCE won that final and should have had the gold medal. He ended up with the silver. Yoka took the gold. He was the darling of French boxing. Much was expected of him. I think it was his fifth or sixth fight, maybe fifth fight, where he fought Dave Allen, stopped him in 10 rounds. But then there was some controversy. He skipped a piss test, PD test, and a few people were, casting aspersions on him. He knocked out Johan Duhaupas in 1 round. And that was, Duhaupas had seen better days, but still impressive to knock him out in 1 round. Duhaupas, of course, a fellow Frenchman. He stopped he didn't stop him. It was a unanimous decision, I think, over Christian Hammer. This is Yoka we're talking about. And then in 2022, he ran to Martin OKOLIE, and this was in Paris, and he lost a majority decision, which, in my opinion, should have been a unanimous decision by far. OKOLIE was the better fighter. So Yoka took his first loss. Okay, these things happen. Like I say, this was 3 years ago, just over 3 years ago. He then fought Carlos Takam, who again had seen better days, and he lost a split decision to Takam, another French-based heavyweight. So 2 on the bounce. That was a shock because Takam was considered to have seen far better days, and Yoka was expected to outpoint him. But of the 3 fights that he lost in a row, the split decision loss to Riyad Mary, who was a former cruiserweight. He might still be a cruiserweight, or maybe he's knocking around bridgerweight or something like that. That really was a bad defeat. I mean, Riyad Mary is from Belgium. After beating Yoka, he fought Gerald Anderson and lost a unanimous decision. But like I say, a small heavyweight. I mean, he's about barely 6 foot tall, Mary, and yet, as far as I was concerned, he legitimately beat Tony Yoka. Now, Yoka, of course, his career was in shreds with these 3 consecutive defeats. Even though 2 of them were splits and 1 was a majority. I mean, losing to OKOLIE, okay, no shame in that. Takam seen better days, but still a handful. All right. But Riyad Mary, losing to him, no, he was kind of written off. And he actually reappeared, believe it or not, in Britain, in, of all places, Tolworth, trained by none other than Don Charles. And he had a little run around there. How the hell that happened? He beat a guy with a losing record. It was Bruschetta, was it Amy? Something, I don't know his first name, but Bruschetta is his surname. He's a journeyman who's fought quite a few people, and Yoka stopped him in 4 rounds. He then had another 2-round knockout against another journeyman. And earlier this year, in fact in May, so it's relatively recently, he took on a guy called Arslan Yalev and defeated him on a unanimous decision. That was over in Paris. So he returned to Paris. He took on Yalev and defeated him. He was undefeated, Yalev was, coming in. So he's kind of rebuilding. I mean, Yalev is a Russian heavyweight. I've got to be honest, I don't know much about him. I don't think he'd really fought anyone previously, but all right. I think he's 28, which is about 5 years younger than Yoka. Yoka, I think, is 33 now. And okay, taking an undefeated Russian heavyweight, big lad, 6'5", taking his undefeated record. Okay, you can say Tony Yoka is, getting back some of that lost lustre. Yoka, by the way, is extremely tall. He's 6'7", so he does belong in that land of the giants. And he might be one of those tall fighters who shorter heavyweights give problems to. I say shorter, I don't mean short, but shorter heavyweights, like Takam, who's, what was he, 6'2", Takam, something like that. And OKOLIE, what's OKOLIE, 6'4", maybe 6, no, I think he's 6'5", I don't know, actually, OKOLIE. But anyway, he might be one of those guys who, shorter heavyweights, he's given trouble by them. And he much prefers the taller guys. Well, I mean, OKOLIE's OKOLIE's a big lad. He's about 6'5", 6'6", something like that. I don't know. I can't remember. You'll have to leave me in the comments if you know how tall OKOLIE is. But certainly, I mean, this guy that he recently beat, the Russian, he was a tall lad. So maybe Yoka does prefer, his style lends itself better, especially as he himself is very tall, to taller opponents. Ideally, of course, you want to be able to take on any kind of opponent, but we're not all Alexander Usyk or, you know, whatever. But anyway, he signed with Frank Warren with Queensbury, and the question is, who are they going to match him with? Well, I would say that it's a natural that they put him in with Joe Joyce again, because it's a repeat of that final, that Olympic final. Was it 2016? Was it? And it's revenge for Joe Joyce, who's lost, is it 4 of his last 5? Or repeat for Yoka. Joyce has always claimed, I won that fight. I think most people that watched it who weren't French thought Joyce had done enough. But if Yoka can get a win over Joyce is a bit of a name. He can then put himself in the shop window. At the moment, he's 14 wins with 11 KOs, 3 defeats, all on points, and no draws. So, considering he did turn pro in 2017, the year after the Olympics, he hasn't had that many fights. And even though he's 33, there aren't many miles on the clock. So that would be an interesting fight, you know, Joe Joyce. What about, let's say, for example, when I'm thinking about the in-house heavyweights for Queensbury, maybe Tony Yoka against Fabio Wardley, perhaps, or Lawrence OKOLIE, maybe. Lawrence OKOLIE didn't look great against Kevin Rayner, but then he did injure his bicep early on in the fight, I think. But Yoka against OKOLIE. Wardley is going to, I think Wardley's probably got his eyes on something else, on other things. They're always going to be wanting matchups with, you could Derek Chisora and Yoka. I mean, I'm just pulling names out of the air now because Queensbury have got so many heavyweights. It's, like I say, there's almost too many sweets in the bag, you know. But there are options. There are options now that Yoka has signed to Queensbury, and I'm not sure if he's still trained by Don Charles, but he definitely was being trained by him, which means he's probably been getting some sparring with Daniel Dubois. Who knows, a Yoka-Dubois matchup, you know. Or maybe Yoka fights Joe Joyce, and then the winner has Dubois. If that's Joe Joyce, then of course that will be a rematch of Dubois' first defeat. But there are all sorts of permutations, equations, heavyweight equations that you can put together because Queensbury have just got so many heavyweights, and it's going to be a case of show me what you got. You know, start knocking over others, start outpointing others. Winner stays on, and if that happens, you know, I think there's a future for Tony Yoka, but. He's had a good win a couple of months ago, but he needs to keep that momentum going against good quality people, because I think it was, from what I don't think I saw the fight, but from what I read about it, it was quite a convincing win over Yalyev. I think his name was, the Russian, Arslan Yalyev. I think it was quite a convincing win. It wasn't like he got a gift or anything, even though it was in Paris. So maybe, just maybe, he can resurrect his career. It's been done before, and Queensbury are very good at rebuilding fighters. Look at Dubois, for Christ's sake. So let me know what you think. Yoka, do you think he'll ever make it as a pro? Didn't look like it, but you never know. Stranger things have happened. And if you've got any comments, leave them below. Thanks for watching this video. If you liked it, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel if you're new, because we've got plenty more stuff to come at you. All right. Thank you very much. I will look forward to reading what you've got to say. Bye for now.